Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy here, for nerds, by nerds, hanging out with some esteemed colleagues.
I'm Ted.
And I'm Ryan.
And today we're going to build a magic item.
Sweet.
Well, actually, I already kind of built one before, so I'll just pull that out for now.
All right, so we're going to get the forge going, stoke the fires. All right.
Pretty much.
Do you have the to make it?
This is 5th edition. We don't use that shit no more.
No,
Do you have the formula?
The formula. I do have the formula.
The Eskrima?
Actually, I don't need it. I'm a DM.
Oh, sweet.
And we don't have the Skrimas anymore either.
Oh.
That was 3rd edition.
Oh, well.
What the hell's a scrimma? Are we talking schema?
Schema.
Schema.
That's the word I'm looking
It's scheme with an A. Yeah, it's
whatever.
all right. So back on track to making a magic item.
What do we got?
Forging it.
Oh,
What are we
okay.
making?
So it's actually easier than ever in 5th edition to make magic items.
And how do we do it?
Well, first of all, they give you a bunch of cool magic items to work with, like every edition of the game. I mean, really, it's the main reason we buy this book, the DMG, is for the magic items,
All the tables.
right?
All the tables.
The tables, the magic items.
Which can be found on starting at page 142 internet.
Well, that's for spicing up the magic items.
Right.
Like, so they got these cool tables in there, which basically who made it, who's supposed to use it.
The who, what, where, and why of magic items. Basically.
Unique prop kind of stuff. So I made the Ring of Hork, found in the Fountain of Hork.
Okay.
I don't
the
know
land of Hork.
I don't know who Hork is, but he was probably horrible.
It's Hork the Horrible. It sounds like a Discworld character, like a Discworld villain.
Yeah.
Totally.
So all I did was take a ring of spell storing, and I went to these cool tables here, and I just started rolling some dice and picking some stuff. So,
Let me guess. The creator was an aberration.
Good guess. What gave it away? Was it the tentacles?
It was the tentacles.
And coming up with that, it's like, all right, so the ring actually looks like 3 interwoven tentacles of different metals. And, so I gave it this weird property of when you look away from it, out of the corner of your eye, it looks like they move.
Yeah.
And not only that, when you...
Now, what's the game mechanical effect of that? What's going on with that?
There's no game mechanics.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's
just
skeevy
weird.
and creepy. Yeah.
Well, when you put it on, you're whispering. And have you ever seen, encountered maggots in one spot? They actually, make an audible sound.
No, that's friggin' icky and
it's
disgusting.
It is.
And disturbing. I would have to make a horror check as a person.
Well, yeah, so basically when they put it on, they hear that kind of, noise, and they can, and it'll whisper every once in a while, and they can almost make out something. But it does actually have a property of, while they're wearing it, they can understand deep speech. And all of that is in addition to what the item actually does, which in this case just happened to be a ring of spell storing. And I just...
A ring of tentacle spell storing? All the spells should have Evard's Black Tentacle. It has to have a tentacle effect.
Well, I did put Everett's Black Tentacles in it, and Arms of Hogar.
Hadar,
I think.
Yeah, the Warlock spell.
Yeah, just to make it thematic. I mean, it can hold any spell, but really, you can use what they give you in the DMG to make a unique magic item. And add flavor to it. This is something I've done throughout my campaigns anyway, but they just make it a lot easier. It gives you some food for thought. So, that's one I just did. But if we were going to make a magic item right now, let's have at it.
All right.
What do we want? Who's it for?
Who is it for?
All right, so do we want to grab a random magic item? All right, we've got a Rod of Absorption.
Okay, but, let's just make a rod, and let's make something new.
Okay. Oh, great.
Wait. How about... So, in one video, we kind of started talking about sentient magic items. So, I mean, not really dealing with the sentience much.
Can we make my potion bottle?
I was going to go with my Cloak of a Cloaker. But, all right, so which one we want to do? The Cloak of the Cloaker or the magic item?
Why don't we do your potion bottle now, and
okay.
we do the Cloaker one another bit?
Okay, so my reason for wanting to do a potion bottle is because basically it says you can't have a sentient magic item be consumable.
Right.
So I'm like...
But the vial could be.
But the vial could be.
Nice.
So I guess we have to turn to the pages of the sentient magic items.
Oh, we do want to make it. Yeah, we are going to deal with the sentience today.
So, basically, there isn't a whole lot going on there, right? Yeah. You would, in previous editions, this would have been 6 pages. And it's 1 page now.
So sentient magic items start on 214.
214.
Okay.
So
I'll keep it open
you have
to the history stuff.
figure out what kind of level of communication. Does it communicate via emotion? Can it speak, read, and understand?
Oh, it
one or more
absolutely
languages?
should talk to people, because that's half
Or
the fun.
Can it do more than one languages and communicate telepathically?
So telepathic or verbal?
I would go with verbal.
Or like
Because it's funnier.
Verbal, and like it can say "Don't drink me" in like just about every language known to man. Like actually converse maybe in just like a couple, but like it has "Don't drink me" in like deep speech and celestial.
Every language known.
Yeah.
So I like that idea. So it can speak, read, and understand one or more languages. So 61 through 90. We'll go with, put a big circle on that one. All right, senses. Do we have hearing and normal vision out to 30, 60, 120, or hearing and dark vision out to 120? Does it need more than 30 feet?
I think 30.
Yeah,
feet is
we'll
fine.
contain it to itself pretty much.
I think 30 works. So then what alignment does it have? I think this should be chaotic neutral. It's kind of crazy. It is a sentient vial.
I hate chaotic neutral though.
Okay. So how about neutral?
Chaotic
Chaotic
good or chaotic evil. One or the other.
You ask for healing, it gives cause.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to be a dick, you go chaotic evil.
Yeah.
If you actually want something to be something in your game, you go chaotic good.
Okay.
Cool and well, evil can be cool, but good is helpful. So let's go with
Yeah.
helpful.
All right. So now it says to go to chapter 4 and give it its special features. You know, flaws and ideals and all that kinds of stuff. So do we want to go back to that?
Yeah, we can go over there.
All right. So chapter 4.
Chapter 11, bankruptcy.
No.
So what is our magic potion magic vial going to do?
I think it creates a potion effect.
A drought of some sort.
And then
Maybe 3 times a day, or X number of days, or numbers
So,
per short rest.
If you remember,
It can be willed to make a certain potion by handling it.
So, like, since it's sentient, I think it should have, like, you have to ask for a potion effect, and if it likes what you're doing, or feels inclined to it'll give you what you want.
What if it's like Bob from Harry Dresden and always wants to make love potions?
Yeah.
Like maybe it has a potion that it always wants to make.
Right. Maybe.
So
it's always trying to push that one above all others.
You could use the like the charges effect. Like it has
charges would be a good place
X number of charges
to start.
It refills X number of charges a day.
I like that one.
And it has the ability to say, okay, well, if it makes the potion you want, it takes 2 charges. If it makes the potion it wants, it uses 1 charge.
I think that's stupid.
Oh, okay.
I think it would just be like an RP thing of, I could always whip up the love potion for you, like it always talking to you.
All right.
So like maybe it gets a D4 potions per day.
I don't think should be a tax. I would just look at staves and see what staves do, what the charges are, and I would use that.
Or maybe like the more powerful potion
Well,
is 2 charges.
it depends upon how many, how potent effect you want the potions to be, and how many charges you want to have it accessible to. Like, so if it was something that's got like 20 charges, it's typically does like, okay, well, it's going to get like,
well, nothing has that high. It's like 6 charges a day or something usually.
It's like a D6 plus 2 or
something.
So
weird
I could
like
see
that.
this being like a D4 plus 2 and maybe like the more potent
I could see it being
potions.
like whatever it says for staves.
Yeah.
And then you just like tier it depending on the
number
potion.
of charges. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like there was the Staff of Defense, which was in the Mines of Phandelver. And sorry, spoilers ahead. But the Staff of Defense, it was 1 charge to drop mage armor and 2 charges to drop a shield, because it was like, that's the save your ass spell.
Because shield is so freaking cool.
So
It's
Staff
super
of Fire
useful.
has 10 charges, gets D6 plus 4 back a day. Staff of Power has 20. It gets D8 plus 2. Staff of Swarming, 10 charges.
So probably like the 10 and roll a D. What was the one with 10?
10 D6 plus 4. So you
Yeah.
technically can get anywhere from half to full each day.
Yeah, so I would probably do something along
Staff
those
of
lines.
Magi, 50 charges. You guys tell me I'm wrong.
You are wrong.
You're wrong.
We just did. Hear
They're-
that, internet?
You're telling me I'm wrong and you're wrong.
Yeah.
So So you want to do 10 charges against D6 plus 4 back a day?
Yeah. I mean, there's only like 2 items in the book that go really above that.
Yeah.
And that's because it's the friggin' Staff of the Magi and Staff of Power.
And then you could have like the potions list and like here's the costs for here, here's the cost for here. Like so you have your 1 charge and then your 2 charge like potions.
Yeah, you would essentially just go to the potions and see like if they're listed by power or whatever.
Like and like because it's the rarity.
Yeah, by the rarity.
Some of them have a symbol with a silver thing next to them. Some of them have a similar symbol with a gold, and then some of them just have like a black icon next to them.
All right, so
MTG man.
So
MTG.
Going to the actual NPC side effect of our potion bottle, what kind of mannerisms does this thing have? Is it prone to singing, speaks in rhyme, slurs, enunciates overly clearly, speaks loudly, whispers, uses flowery speech, frequently uses the wrong word?
Flowery, I'm thinking flower.
Dude, I would so do it depending on what potion it's charged with.
That works. Like, so if it's a potion of strength, it, like, gets aggressive and, like,
Yeah.
all right, let's do this! Come on! And then, like, if it's the love potion, it's like, oh, it's so nice.
It's romantic.
Everything's so great. Look at the sunset. It's so beautiful.
Your eyes are so blue.
So what about when it's actually empty? It's depressed.
It goes through, like...
It could be, It could always want to have a potion in it.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't have a potion in it, it's like...
It's whiny and despairy, basically.
It will annoy you until you put a potion in there.
Yeah, right.
It basically
and
uses
so
one
it
of
wants
its
you to, like,
charges.
spend the charge until... And, like, I would even say that, like, it kind of, like, maybe it gives you, like, disadvantage on passive perception. Because to have a little bit of a mechanic thing going. Like, it's so annoying that...
You can't
like,
have a disadvantage on passive perception.
You can, it's a -5. It's a negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so...
So,
I thought that would be a cool little, just screw with the player just a little bit.
Because it's constantly annoying you.
Yeah.
All right, so ideals. If we say it's chaotic good, does it care about beauty, charity, greater good, life, respect, self-sacrifice, change, creativity, freedom, independence, no limits, or whimsy?
Whimsy.
I think whimsy definitely fits.
Yeah.
Now here's the weird part, bonds. Is it dedicated to fulfilling a personal life goal, close family members, protective of colleagues or compatriot, loyal to a benefactor, patron or employer, captivated by a romantic interest, drawn to a special prize, protective of a sentimental keepsake,
Other potions.
protective of a valuable possession, out for revenge?
I think the keepsake one, like it has it feels camaraderie with other potion vials.
Well, no, the potions themselves. So it tries to not have you or jealous. It won't allow you to use any other potions.
Yeah.
It just yells at you if you do.
Oh well, it can deny the use of its abilities.
Yeah, I like that. So,
it could be the jealousy thing, or it could be a self-sacrifice where it's trying to save other potions by having itself being the one utilized. So
it's not bad.
Yeah. Drink me instead.
So now we have traits. Is it argumentative, blustering, rude, curious, friendly, honest, hot-tempered, irritable, ponderous, quiet, or suspicious?
Again, this
influenced by what's in there.
Yeah.
Okay. And lastly, we have flaws and secrets. Does it have a forbidden love or susceptibility to romance? Enjoys decadent pleasures, arrogance, envies other creatures' possessions or station, overpowering greed, prone to rage, has a powerful enemy, specific phobia, shameful or scandalous history, secret crime or misdeed, possession of a forbidden lore, or foolhardy bravery?
I'm actually thinking like it has a secret destiny where it needs to be fulfilled in order to keep something horrible from happening, but it unmakes it. Well, so it's not really forthcoming with this information.
Maybe. I was also thinking like phobia. Like it's a phobia. It's phobic of sonic attacks and like the shadow spell.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like that will friggin' destroy me. I will no longer exist anymore.
Except for sentient magic items aren't very easy to break.
I was thinking,
but it doesn't really need to know that.
I was thinking that it has some like legendary potion that it doesn't want anyone to know it can do, like
a Philosopher's Stone effect from the transmutation school.
So like. Maybe it's given out, to the players, as a thing that they've stumbled across, but it's really tied to like the major story arc, and until like the players glean the information that they need this thing, they don't realize that they're actually in possession of the item that can actually do it. So then it can eventually come down to the players essentially role-playing with this flask or vial to say, look, we need this potion to be made, and the thing doesn't want to make it because it's afraid of it.
Because it don't makes it.
So
maybe like it pretty much pours all of its magic
into that one Drought
right.
that they need to like save the universe or something.
Yeah.
So I think you look like you're on edge there. You don't. Yeah,
I don't know. Like I don't know. Like just the happens they come across it and they have it for a while and then they need it, but they have to figure out how to get it out of there. Like, well, like the adventure aspect of it. I'm just not sure. Like, how would I introduce this into my campaign? Is what I'm thinking.
That sounds exactly like something you would do.
Oh.
It's like, well, dude, you guys have had the answer all along.
I mean, it could always be, you have done that in the past. But you could always, like, hint at prophecy or something like that.
If you
see clues.
If you mix that in with all its normal rambling, the players will just think that the potion is just being, like, arrogant and doing its normal thing, where it's really giving the clues.
Yeah. So what does it look like? I'm thinking like a smoky glass that is etched. So the runes are all etched in the vial, and definitely, basically the beaker tube looking type vial. Not
It's not the small cylinder.
Yeah. The fat bottom one, and then maybe silver wire wrapped around the top that goes to a cork. So that so even when you unstopper it, the cork is still attached, and you have to cork it again and maybe shake it and be like, give me the stuff.
Like something like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, I'm picturing something more like a flask, almost like an ornate flask with a like a relief of a face on it, and like the face actually like talks and stuff. So it can make like facial gestures and this and that.
See, I kind of like it looking like a magic potion now.
I like it looking like a magic potion, but I
want the face.
I want the face to be there and be able to move.
Yeah, but after you kind of the etchings can move inside the glass.
Well, I mean, but also too though, you have that there are like glass beakers and bottles that have like like metalwork on them. So there could be like a metalwork face that like is like just on the right up into like the neck of the beaker.
Well, that would work too, because then that goes along with the silver chain attached to the stopper.
Yeah,
that goes to it.
We could do that. I'll allow it.
It needs. You'll allow it. Nice.
Yeah. So, but I definitely want the like. You're not casting a shatter spell around me, are you? Like, are you guys?
Well, yeah. It could definitely. You could give it like knowledge arcana and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe it does, because it should have more. I think it should have a little bit more to it than just, just that it just creates potions. Like maybe it confers a benefit in arcane studies and stuff like that. You can consult it, especially if it involves potions.
If it's a potion thing, come on, that should like almost give you like advantage or something to try
cool.
and identify potion.
All right, so we went on to its conflict without even really looking at it of It's afraid of object damaging spells and seeking out its destiny. So that pretty much wraps up the actual sentient portion of it. The only other thing is who created it, what is a detail from its history, what minor property does it have, and what quirk does it have. And we already loaded this thing up with quirks. So
the quirks are done. I
don't even need to touch that one.
Yeah.
I would say it maybe gives you like double proficiency for your Arcana check.
So expertise, basically.
Yeah, basically like expertise.
Yeah.
Although I guess you're kind of boned if you already get expertise, since you can't get double expertise.
You cannot double expertise. Yeah.
No.
Triple expertise.
Like, because I think not the knowledge domain gives you that.
Yeah. And rogues, bards, they all have the ability to get that.
Yeah, but if you think of it as like a mage's thing, then it's good for the mage and the sorcerer and the warlock. So it still works well.
It would be good for once we actually get to see what the final iteration of the artificer is. It would also be cool for them, but who knows?
They might
get expertise or something. Then it would be.
All right. So who created it?
Celestial. If we're going with this thing, has an epic destiny.
I think that fits. So we Do we like that?
Yeah, we can go with that.
All right.
All right,
So
so
what is a
good.
detail from its history? Arcane, Bane, Heroic, Ornament, Prophecy, Religious.
Well, we already did prophecy,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
so we've already worked that right in
Yeah,
there.
that's built
All right.
into the deal.
So then, what minor property does it have?
We did that.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what about the languages? The
Well, the languages, it basically acts as a magical assistant.
yeah,
I think that pretty much covers it.
right. It's already pretty quirky in its whole.
Or
thing.
or maybe it just it allows the help action, so this way you can get advantage. This way, if someone already has expertise, they don't get boned out of it.
Right?
That's
Yeah,
not a bad idea.
that's not bad. Keeping
Man.
that specific to potions.
I think Arcana.
Yeah.
Arcana.
I think it's very magical in nature, and it probably would have been hanging out in a lot of mages'
Arcane
laboratories.
Over the
circles. Yeah.
years. So imagine having advantage on an expertise Arcana roll.
Yeah. And that would be
Yeah, it's a little
pretty
difficult to
ridiculous.
do. There's
Yeah.
only a couple classes that get it, and they're far less magically inclined
Well, no.
as far as making stuff.
Yeah, but I mean,
My,
you could.
my cleric has expertise in Arcana and history.
Yeah, you could do a bard.
Yeah.
A bard would totally be able to get the expertise.
Yeah, but I feel like I feel it's more useful to like a mage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also too, I would want this thing to maybe do a little bit of the like the Disney Beauty and the Beast, like being able to dance or whatever, because that.
Oh
would be
yeah,
hilarious.
some minor movement.
Yeah, so it can do the beyond guess.
It's got like a movement of one.
Yeah, like
All right,
like
so
it can move 5 foot
now-
a move.
The
or
most
whatever.
important thing of all,
Most important thing. What is its name?
it needs a name.
Bob.
It cannot be Bob.
It cannot be Bob.
So is it, do we want to just go with, something silly, just potion flask, and, it that's its name, and, like, it's...
No, I hate that.
I hate you, Dave.
Virgil the Virgil the Vile.
Oh, well, that's I kind of like that. I was gonna say something like the divine drought, like because it's a celestial thing.
Yeah, maybe it should be a little pompous too.
Yeah. Virgil, the divine drought. Like he's got like a title.
I don't know about the Virgil part. I was just kidding about that, but yeah, divine draw or
I'm not totally adverse to it having like a name.
a name.
Yeah. Because I mean, you had like Cogsworth and Lumiere in Beauty and the Beast.
I've got to throw out my pun. His name is Alchemical.
Alchemical. Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. Name. I think the name could be a thing that we.
Veraloth,
Veraloth.
the divine drought.
Yeah. That sounds like very regal. Like
Yeah,
he was
that's what
once
I
a
mean.
king. He was once a king, and now he's a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Can we go with Veraloth,
I like
the divine
Veraloth.
drought?
I like
Sure.
Veraloth, the divine
Unless
drought.
if you completely disagree, then you can put that in the comments below,
Go ahead
Yeah.
and put your suggestions for what its name should be.
or other magic item ideas as well.
So while you're at it, you can like, comment, subscribe, and even share.
You can check us out on nerdarchy.com.
Or over on Facebook.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.